I wonder how long it's going to take for us to get thrown out. We just got here.
I'm the most recently released January 6th.
A lot of the J6ers, they're getting arrested for child porn.
What's a lot? There's 1,600 J6ers.
There's bound to be some child porn. Is there a problem, sir?
Can I see your credentials?
I'm being kicked out.
Why are we being kicked out?
Because now I'm about to get real frustrated and irritated. Right?
Do you think a man with the last name Nick Fuentes is qualified to be a white supremacist?
You could have like those ideologies and be any color.
So right off the bat, Jolly Good Ginger has been spotted by two different J6 domestic terrorists. The video where you called a J6 terrorist a terrorist got a lot of attention.
I'm super happy. I got pardoned.
Well, you got pardoned from what?
January 6th.
Oh, so you were one of the terrorists?
It did. It made its rounds on Twitter.
I wonder how long it's going to take for us to get thrown out. We just got here.
We want to make it 2 days. We're trying.
We'll try to make it 2 days. Can we make it 2 days?
We can. I believe in us.
The 2 days or 2 minutes challenge.
The guy was literally outside the Capitol in an ice jacket.
He's still wearing an ice
Still
jacket.
wearing the same ice jacket today. And he's harassing people.
Yeah.
Terrorizing people. So not only were you terrorizing people, our country on January 6th, you're terrorizing people the day I seen you.
Yeah, like you returned to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
Share my flyer with you for our documentary that's coming out at the end of March.
What's this about?
It's about the school closures. The real reason why the school closures and the smash and grab of the funding from the teachers union.
Why are you against the teachers unions?
I'm not against the teachers unions. I'm against leadership that doesn't put children first. And so the funding needs to go towards the children and not towards administrative overhead and for pushing ideology that shouldn't be in our schools.
I don't believe that. I feel like everyone wants to get rid of the teachers unions.
Well, I am a former teacher, so I can say
But you're a former teacher and you support the teachers unions.
I support the teachers.
No, wait, support teachers. So you don't support teachers unions?
Not in the current form that they are in right now. No, I do not.
Everyone wants DeSantis, everyone top down wants the unions abolished.
I think that if the unions started to become more common sense and put children first and actually put the teachers' needs first, then I think that
there's not a single piece of legislation that I have seen, especially in DeSantis, that puts the teachers' needs first. If I speak to teachers, he has made their job incredibly difficult.
Well, I think that rolls right down to your local school board.
I can speak to that. I've traveled around the United States. I'm to a lot of school board meetings and everything. So I can speak to that with regards to the movement that is taking place with Moms for Liberty and Moms for Liberty adjacent organizations.
Have you looked at the current scores where the children are actually performing in the United States?
The test scores and the success, there's outliers, but it always falls along socioeconomic lines.
Well, look at the inflation. What parents can actually afford tutoring. People even in your upper middle class levels can't afford the tutoring. Look, the teachers need to teach the kids how to read.
And so you have, yeah. And so
teachers need to teach the kids how to read and to write and to do mathematics and to learn the skills that they need so that they can have their American dream. That is not happening right now.
The test scores in red states, are much lower than they are in blue states. Blue state test scores by and large are way better. Like you have a lot of red states that rank almost at the bottom in education.
Have you actually looked at those scores?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So have I, and so I disagree with what you're saying because there's lots of movement that are going on, specifically in Mississippi and other states. So it's not really.
So wait, so where does Mississippi rank?
It's not necessarily red or blue. It's whether or not the kids can read, and they're unable to read the way that they need to right now.
Yeah,
Teachers need to be
the way I see it right now is with the whole school choice movement, I look at that more as a wealth transfer.
I don't.
It's a wealth
taking
transfer.
Kids out of a burning building.
When it's a wealth transfer. So if you're already sending your kid to private school and you're paying $40K a year, that voucher helps.
Not all schools cost $40K. And there are schools that work on a budget that is a lot less.
Great.
And they are turning out kids that can actually read.
Public education is education for all.
So is school choice.
No, school choice. Private school does not have to admit you. That's not a district. They can kick everyone out. They can just take the middle class.
Medicare have consumer-directed services. They have consumer-directed services.
The same people behind school choice are the same people that were against forced busing. So they don't want your kid.
That is not true.
They don't want your kid going to whatever school they want.
That is not true.
They
I
don't.
believe
They,
that
these are
that
the
is a misnomer. that
these
you're
are the same
stating.
people. These are the same people that were for educational segregation.
Have you ever looked in the eyes of a child that is crying, that is a young child that can't read? I recently was at a charter school in Washington, D.C. If you have ever looked in the eyes of a young child that is in the lower socioeconomic status, okay, if you want to go in that direction,
Trump
and
is
you-
getting rid
you
of the
tell
Head
them-
Start program.
You tell them it is criminal, and
Yeah,
that's all
that
I'm
would
going
no.
to say.
Listen,
Have a good
Trump
day.
is trying to get. Trump has gotten rid of the Head Start program. He has gotten the Republicans, by and large, in every district, are getting rid of the Head Start program. You cannot tell me that they care about educating young children if they're if they're gutting the Head Start program.
You can't tell me
look
that the Head Start is working.
Look me in the eyes and tell me that getting rid of the Head Start program
Look
is
me in
what.
the eyes and tell me that it actually works for children.
Yeah,
It's not
statistically,
working.
it has totally worked. It's hypocritical and it's a wealth transfer.
He said, he took off his glasses. He said, look me in the eye.
Freedom. What is Freedom Foundation?
So the Freedom Foundation, we are a national 501c3 battle tank where we work to defund liberal government unions by encouraging people and educating them about their opt-out rights.
I've heard about your work. So I've spoken to people in Phoenix, Arizona, and Scottsdale, Arizona, and basically what I've seen is that you're going to tell people like, hey, opt out of this school district because once it reaches below a certain threshold, they can close the school. And then you're telling teachers, hey, if so many of you opt out of this union, then it weakens that union. Am I wrong?
I would say it seems like you're 50% correct.
We're fighting the same fight that you're fighting. The current the president didn't cheat, but you know what?
Who cheated?
The leftist Democrats cheated on the election, and actually we try to examine the election, but the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, tried to examine the election system, but the leftist, the Democrats.
He tried to make it like an autocracy. He wants to take over and be a dictator.
No.
He's like a big incel.
No, that is the image portrayed by media, the leftified media. But the truth is, he tried to examine the election system, whether it's working well or not. But
So MAGA is coming to South Korea.
yeah, that is same thing is happening in South Korea. So
Oh my
that's
God.
why we are here. We are fighting the same fight against the lies
Oh.
of socialists and the communists.
The same thing's happening in South Korea.
God bless you.
There you go. I love it. The MAGA movement's coming to South Korea, basically. It's coming to a theater near you. MAGA boys. MAGA boys.
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? Tell me about the MAGA boys. My name's Walter Masterson. I'm a comedian. I'm from New York. You're from New York? Where in New York?
Upstate New York. New York and New Jersey. That's what we're going to do.
How are you going to flip New York and New Jersey?
Yep, same way we did PA. We're leveraging AI and blockchain technology to do that.
There's a lot of areas of upstate New York that are very red.
Yeah.
It's a huge state.
Yeah. It is. Personally, we believe New York City should be a district. It should be cut off because why, upstate, we carry all those taxes, all the same laws, everything, but we don't have the same opportunity.
Listen, I'm from New York City. New York City, the money coming from New York City powers a lot of New York State.
What money?
What, the tax money? Like the
tax money. Yeah,
GDP, everything.
But tax. Look at Kathy Hochul. Hochul, if you're listening to this, you're done. When it comes 2026, you're out. New Yorkers are sick of this shit. She's absolutely destroyed the state. You have immigrants coming in. Trump and all them are.
Wait, let's finish up one thing. I'm talking about the revenue from New York City powering New York State.
But it's not powering the people. You are taking income from the people.
I'll tell you.
That's not powering.
He's right.
That's powering the machine.
New York City sends money to Albany that they don't get back.
Yeah.
And the amount of money coming through New York City is immeasurable.
How does that
And
help
if you
the people?
cut, there's the tax revenue, tax base.
No, wait a
That's
minute. Tax base. Explain it to me. Get more granular.
Okay.
How's it helping the people
So
by taxing them to death?
What's
the tax rate?
We are getting
Tax-
taxed. Like we almost have to sell our home. I own my own business, and we've gotten to a point where I no longer can fill my pockets with cash anymore. It doesn't happen. I'm at the point now where babe, we have to sell the house. Can't afford groceries. Got to sell the truck. Like 6 years ago, I was good. I was great. I was able to buy, if I wanted a four-wheeler, I could buy a four-wheeler. I had money in the bank. I had extra money in the bank. I was, yeah. And there was hope for the future. In the past, our last presidency completely destroyed this point, our ability to maintain our house, to maintain my business almost.
What's your business?
I'm in the automotive. And this isn't just me. If you talk to any one of my neighbors,
I talk to a lot of people.
What's the sentiment that you received?
I travel the entire country. I talk to people I agree with, people I disagree with. I talk to everyone. I'm not in the bubble. The sentiment is people are struggling. The average, what's the average salary that everyone makes? The average person, I think, makes, what, 18K, 30K a year?
It's a joke.
I'm for things like raising the minimum wage. Someone should not make $7.50 an hour. That should be illegal.
But then everything at the store, all the prices go up. You raise minimum wage, it doesn't solve anything.
If someone is working 40 hours a week and they cannot pay their bills, then that employer is not an employer. They're another form of slavery.
I'm a business owner.
I'm a business owner.
If I were to employ people, the amount of money New York State would need from me for every little thing, every bureaucratic piece of bullshit it makes a business owner pay just to have him work for me.
Yeah, there's basic scalability, but I'm just saying the concept of someone working 40 to 60 hours a week, they should be able to pay their bills. If they are not being paid enough to pay their bills, then something's wrong. We're not even getting into our political differences. Right. If you're an employer and you cannot afford to pay someone enough to pay like basic bills, then something needs to be done.
So let me ask
if you qualify for food stamps and SNAP benefits at full-time employment, there's a problem.
Your solution would be paying the people more, right?
I'm not talking about small business owners. I'm talking about big business owners. I'm talking about Amazon. We're not Amazon. I'm not Amazon. You're not Amazon. Right? I'm talking about the big dogs, the Amazons, the Microsofts. If they are not paying their workers enough to survive, that's a problem.
But those are operational costs, right? Every business to be successful has to reach a certain capital margin. If you don't make money, you can't do it. So when you raise all that, you are now taking away from that margin.
In theory, yes. Like if you as a small business owner, if you make more money, you're going to try to scale. Perfect concept. Sure. However, in practice, for big business, they don't use that money to scale. They don't hire more people. They use it for stock buybacks.
Yeah, no.
What are stock buybacks?
What's that?
What are stock buybacks?
When they buy back the stock, so basically they take the revenue and they buy back the stock.
They don't. So the money they've saved from tax subsidies, from not paying workers enough, it goes to shareholder profit. That's my issue as an American.
Okay, you want to talk about big businesses?
Yeah. You want to talk shit about big businesses?
What's the government?
What?
What's the government?
What's the people? What's we the people? We the people, that's government.
The government.
We the people.
The government is a big, massive business.
It shouldn't be run like a business.
But it should be. Do you believe in Doge?
What?
Do you believe the efforts of Doge?
Do I believe in auditing federal agencies? Sure. Do I believe in accountability and checks and balances? I don't think there's been.
Have you seen what they've been finding?
What? Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd love to.
We could talk about that.
I would love to.
They've been supposedly cutting waste.
You just did the quotation. So that goes to show, like, you don't actually believe it.
Elon Musk is an unelected representative. If this were Trump doing it, Trump won the election. Elon didn't win the election. Trump did.
Well, I mean, supposedly unelected officials, Kathy Hochul wasn't elected to run New York State either.
What?
She wasn't elected. She was appointed.
You have this idea that taxation is somehow a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So your assumption is that the federal government, the state government are actually good at the distribution of money.
I'd like it to be better. I don't want it to go towards certain things. We could have a conversation about.
Would you support transparency?
Transparency, reallocation.
Why are you assuming that the evidence is very, very clear that no government spends money well? They are the worst people you can ever allocate a budget to.
So then how do we get public services, public health, roads, everything else?
Public subscription, for sure. That's one way of doing it.
Do you want a public subscription to a road?
Yes. You have toll roads all over the world. What's the issue? You want a new road, you pay for it. You want to use it, you pay for it.
So literally everything is privatized.
You talk about liking crypto, that's exactly what blockchain should make possible. By and large, it will. What you need are people able to make informed decisions. So, for example, when you look at the food in America, ultra-homogenized milk is the best milk you can offer in your supermarkets. Do you know what ultra-homogenized means? It means it has no fucking good in it whatsoever.
Are you for unpasteurized milk?
Absolutely. Again, people should have a choice.
That's how people get tuberculosis.
Why do you think people are too stupid to make an informed decision? If you give them the information they need.
Yeah, that's a great point. If we give them an education system. Okay, so should public education be free?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. How do we fund it?
You fund it by subscription. Your children are going.
That's not free education.
We have a biased tax system for every local community for schools.
Yes.
The Board of Education decides where that money goes. They don't care what the parents think or where they want their money to go to for their kids to get educated.
If a local zip code, you pay property taxes, you pay school taxes, that money goes to that school in that district. That's why real estate prices are through the roof. That has little to nothing to do with Department of Education. Department of Education will allocate federal funds to areas where the tax base is incredibly low.
State grants, I guess.
Yeah, they'll get, because it's like they're way under, they can't afford teachers.
Okay, let me tell you something. I wrote an economic policy for a center-right party in Europe. In that policy,
what was the name of the party?
Flat taxation, renew it.
Flat tax, great, yeah.
Now, why did I want flat taxation? Because it's the only tax that everybody pays.
Flat tax is great. It's a great topic. People that are right now under a progressive tax system, someone making $18,000 to $24,000.
Theft tax system.
What?
Theft tax system.
So someone making 18 to 24K pays almost nothing in taxes. And under a flat tax system, they would actually pay more because they can't do deductions.
Most of what you're saying is really about whining about people being rich. And it sounds a lot like the politics of envy.
I voted against my tax interests when I voted in the last election.
Right, well,
there's no envy in that respect. I'm fine. I'm advocating for people that are middle class, lower class, working class. CPAC was wild this year. Steve Bannon gave a Nazi salute, and then President Musk came out on stage high on ketamine and waved a chainsaw. It's also funny to see how the left and right-wing media are covering the President Musk story. The left are talking about how President Musk could barely form a sentence, his unusual appearance, wondering if he's under the influence of something like ketamine. They're even saying he stole J.D. Vance's title as most embarrassing Trump sidekick, while the right, on the other hand, is focusing on how President Milei of Argentina gifted Trump that chainsaw, calling it the perfect gift. They're claiming that the left-wing media is in a meltdown because they just can't handle viral images of President Musk. This just goes to show you why it's very important to have a site like Ground News. With their website and app, Ground News gives you access to multiple perspectives, helping you understand not just what's happening, but who's telling the story and why. Ground News also shows you each source's political bias, their factuality, and even who owns the publication, allowing you to easily spot bias and media manipulation. So if you want to see all sides to every story on US politics and more, go to groundnews.com/Walter, or by clicking the link in the description, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Using my link gets you 40% off the Vantage plan, the same plan I use. So remember, go to groundnews.com/Walter.
And if somebody, like most of the Democrat Party, is found to be on the pay tip of big corporates, they should be imprisoned for treason.
If you want to send Democrats to prison, I vibe with that. If you want to make stock trading illegal for congressmen and senators,
Nancy Pelosi's net worth.
What?
248 million, I think it is. How much is
Bro,
her salary a year?
the best stocks that I buy are the ones
that she bought.
No, that she bought. Do you like follow Congress and follow their stock trades? That's all I do.
I follow the net worth, that's all I need.
Well, whatever.
He's right. If you follow the buy signals from Nancy Pelosi and co., you'll make outsized returns because they know who's going to get the next
Not
one.
even. Marjorie Taylor Greene crushed it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I've followed her stock trades. I've crushed it. I'd want it banned across the board. Yeah, there's tons of Democrat and Republican legislators that are killing it. And I follow their trades, and every time I win, all the time.
We need to have a legislature who are clean. in how they behave,
Yes,
who they're funded
100%.
by. So when you have corporate taxation, a little bit like I said earlier, when you overtax billionaires, you give them a sense that they have a right to have a greater say in things because they pay more of the bill than anyone.
We have a billionaire like running our White House. He's running all three branches of government right now.
Which one are you referring to?
Elon Musk. He is not an elected official. I didn't
That's not
vote for
true.
him. No one.
He is an elected person.
Was he on the ballot?
Yeah, he was. Did you see him on stage with Donald Trump?
I saw Beyonce on stage with Kamala.
No.
That doesn't mean that.
But Beyonce didn't have anything to say about policy. Musk went on stage again and again and again, stating what he was going to do as part of Trump's administration. People absolutely voted for that.
Did you vote in the last election?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Did you vote for Elon Musk?
In this past election, or are you talking about 16?
When did you vote? When did you pull the lever for Elon Musk?
Hold on, that's
you
a real
pull the lever
that's
to
a really
Elon?
good switcheroo, because you weren't asking him a fair.
No, but
you weren't asking him a fair question. He's
What?
not no.
He's not an elected official.
We're allowed to hire people to do jobs in our
What he's saying is that Musk wasn't part of the ballot. Okay?
No, we absolutely want it.
But he was on the ballot
he
the same
was.
way that
Yeah.
RFK was on
We
the
want
ballot.
him, but
the
they're
same
being
way as-
technical.
No, you
But
saw the
were
people
we-
he had on stage. That's what you were voting for.
Did you not go to any rallies? And see
I've been to 30,
Then
maybe
you know
40
Elon
rallies.
Musk was a contributor. Just
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
contributors.
but did
they don't
I-
have to be elected to contribute.
So did you vote for him to go to the Treasury and
He
take
wasn't on the
everyone's
ballot.
personal?
No, but that was that.
Did you vote for him to go in the Treasury and
The vast majority of
did-
America did vote for exactly that.
and you voted for him to go into the Treasury and get our
Absolutely,
personal
absolutely.
information?
Every American who voted for Trump voted for that. Did he audit what was on the system and discover that there's like 100 million Americans who are over 100 years of age?
There were not people getting paid out that aren't alive. There were people everyone being paid out from Social
So
Security.
you know that for a fact,
What?
do you? You know that for a fact. Okay, so how do you audit a system without looking at the data?
There's the Government Accountability Office, GAO. There's tons of.
So you want the wolves to audit the wolves, right?
Every single organization, every single government agency that was auditing or investigating
Because they
him,
weren't doing it.
he is taken
Because
down.
they weren't doing it. If they
Yes.
were doing it, why were they sending hundreds of millions to all kinds of crazy organizations? Like, for example, my favorite one is that whinging bitch, Rory Stewart, the MP or former MP over in Britain. He was on whining that his wife's charity lost 12 million of funding from USAID. And what were they funding? They were funding doing modern alternative art for Afghan people. They're showing people in Afghanistan a toilet.
I mean, there's so much
And
stuff
they
that
got
they
millions for
exaggerate.
this. So no,
there was the
but that's
condoms
not
in Gaza, and it
but-
wasn't true. This is what the most of the USAID funding goes towards. I wrote this down because it's a lot. Battling deadly Marburg outbreak in Tanzania.
Right, so why is that
smallpox.
a US taxpayer's problem? When
Stop
people when people in
monitoring
North
the
Carolina-
bird
people in
flu.
North Carolina had their homes flattened. Where was the help for them?
What? There was tons of help for them.
Well, really, where?
Yeah.
From the US government.
From FEMA, from
Really?
government
Oh,
agencies,
okay,
yes.
Because I think the people in North Carolina might disagree with you.
I'm talking about the concept of stopping a
concept of
polio
self-power.
outbreak and stopping a measles outbreak and stopping a malaria outbreak and helping Ethiopia build their healthcare infrastructure.
Here's the
Not our problem.
What?
It's not America comes first. Because if we fail, everybody else fails.
The America First as a concept, great. However, anytime people petition to have social services, the people that are America First say we shouldn't have that. That's personal responsibility.
Well, a lot of things should be, yes.
Exactly. Exactly. If you want to talk about America first, then be consistent. Say, you know what? Education for everyone, healthcare for everyone, housing for everyone.
Whoa. So countries that have healthcare for everyone, have you taken a look at what went wrong?
Do you know what they don't have? Medical bankruptcy.
Okay. So
Infant mortality.
What happens when you have in a country where bankruptcy takes 1 year? What happens at the end of that 1 year?
The end. So you're saying bankruptcy is a good thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Medical bankruptcy.
The administration should be the bare minimum that you can possibly get away with. It should be highly efficient and highly effective. I did this exercise with my kids. You won't like this as an American. I took them to London. I stood them in Pall Mall. And I said, within 1 mile of where you're standing, people the people here ran a third of the world in an era of sail and pony. How did they do that? They hired the very best people they could get their hands on. They created a culture of wishing to serve the nation.
Wait, what era are you talking about?
British colonial era. In the era of sail ships and ponies, they ran a third of the world from a few hundred people.
Is your thesis that the British colonial era? I don't want to take you out of context about the British colonial era.
What was wrong with the British colonial era?
What?
What was wrong with it?
That it's colonial.
And what was wrong with that?
I don't going around colonizing other countries.
Okay, and most of those countries, if they hadn't been colonized, would be what today?
They'd be so much better off.
Really?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Africa?
Are you saying Africa would be better off if we hadn't been extracted wealth from it?
You are aware that all of the railway systems, all of the infrastructure, everything that they have came from that era.
So Ireland
wasn't a colony.
Ireland went through a famine.
Ireland wasn't a colony.
What?
And actually, that's again out of context.
The potato famine?
Hold on. Ireland was never a colony. And number two, the potato famine occurred at a time that there were famines all over Europe. Ireland, unfortunately, was heavily dependent on one crop.
We were exporting food from Ireland at the same time that there was a famine. Should we be exporting food from a country that's going through a famine?
Okay.
We were doing really well. Like we were talking about stuff. It's the same thing with regards to America First. There's overlap in terms of we shouldn't be going around colonizing other countries.
Correct.
You're America First. You can understand that.
Yeah, to each his own.
Right?
We're not colonizing anybody.
We shouldn't be going and colonizing like Greenland, Canada, Mexico. Like these are sovereign nations. We shouldn't be doing military
It's called
exercises.
unification, brother. It's not colonizing in any way, shape, or form.
But wait, so that's still America First if we go and we unify Greenland, Canada.
Hold on.
No, I like this conversation. I like
there
this.
are slightly different things here because he didn't say by force.
No.
He said unification. So I would make the argument that the American War of Independence was actually a civil war between English people, and we should now just admit that you guys won the war, and can I now have an American passport,
Well,
please?
thank you for thank you. You know what? I was waiting for you to admit that we won the war, the Revolutionary War. You heard it here first, everyone.
Civil War, not
The Civil
Revolutionary
War.
War.
No, the Civil War was the Revolutionary War was a civil war, and who won?
Between the libertarian English and the feudal English.
The feudal English.
So the feudal English lost, the libertarian English won.
Okay, and I mean, if you look around today, I feel like we're going back to feudalism.
Where?
It's like
here?
a neo-feudalism.
Here?
Yeah, here.
Why?
What?
Why?
We have billionaires operating as unelected representatives. They're basically feudal lords.
Well, hold on. I thought we already dealt with the Musk point. I mean, if you want to point at Jeff Bezos, we can be on the same side.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do
That
it.
man had no place being on the inauguration whatsoever.
Who else shouldn't have been there?
Well, his wife.
Keep
And if she
going,
was,
keep
she
going.
could have dressed a bit more respectably.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Another
Okay,
one.
but why Musk then? Why differentiation?
Because Musk was literally on the ballot. He was at every rally saying, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. So you can't say that he wasn't part of what was being voted for. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, profiteered from turning every SME into dust during the COVID era. All the mom and pop businesses got crushed during that era, right? They got killed out. Why?
Here we go.
So that Jeff Bezos could put another 7 feet on his yacht? Fuck him.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's
with regards.
corporatism versus capitalism.
But how do you stop that?
Actually, we're literally stopping that, but that's a whole other discussion.
We're stopping it through Doge?
No.
How?
We built an actual blockchain.
Who are you here with?
We're here with our high school.
I'm sorry, but you're on camera. How old are you?
We're 18. We're both 18.
Okay. Just get out of the way. So wait, what? Your high school sent you here?
We're high school seniors.
Oh wait, did your high
we're on a school trip.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
we're on a
cool.
school trip.
I've never done that as a school trip.
Yeah,
Maybe
we're taking a history class called Rise of the Right in American Politics. So we're learning about sort of like how how the conservative and sort of like the far right movement has like taken shape recently in America.
Well, this is a fantastic place to study it.
Yeah.
This is the best place I could possibly think of.
Yeah.
I've been coming here for several years, and There's not a better place to study. Oh, thank you. So what have you learned so far?
I mean, it's definitely been interesting to see I think growing up in New York City, I've experienced a lot of one end of the political spectrum. So it's definitely interesting to see the other end.
I encourage a lot of people to go out and get outside the bubble. That's the problem, is no one knows what the other side is saying until it's way too late. In these conspiracies, we don't know about them until they're mainstream, and then suddenly it's too late. Every officer there was outnumbered at least 10 to 1. At any given moment, 10 to 1. The officers
and
there...
that was by their superiors' choice. They chose not to bring them there. They got an officer force at the time of 2,000 officers. Captain Mendoza, who's now inspector, really stupid, she shouldn't have been promoted, admitted that only 360 people she called in for that day, despite all the warnings that they said, oh, something terrible is gonna happen. And on top of that, all the counties which they regularly bring in for big protests, Prince George's, which I think we're right here, Virginia State Troopers, told them, no, you wait out there. And as we know, they denied the National Guard.
That was actually a miss, because that was hearsay. And there's also tons of other footage of everyone else and Congress people desperately trying to call in reinforcements.
This is such a complicated day, but you know what's very interesting, and I think it's worth digging into more. William Pope's prosecutors admitted, and as early as 2023, on court docket, that at least those two plainclothes officers were right up at the front, telling people to go past the barricades, go up the stairs.
Of all the things that never happened, that never happened the most. At the end of the day, you were there. I was there.
Had the best day of my life.
That was the best day.
It was so. It just felt like you're living in a modern day Boston Tea Party, but it was so much more or less damaging.
Why was it a tea party? It
felt like it was a spirit. Yeah, and it was beautiful. It was the American spirit there. It's hey, a lot of people were kind of pissed off. At the moment, it's yeah.
I was at Capitol Hill on January 6th.
I'm the most recently released January 6th. I got out on Valentine's Day. I spent an additional 26 days after receiving my pardon being transferred to 7 different federal facilities all over the country for a nonviolent misdemeanor traffic infraction.
Well, the J6ers, they're getting arrested for child porn.
What's a lot? There's been I know
more than one. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I mean, there's 1,600 J6ers. They're
bound to be some child porn in there.
Well, I mean, J6. The defendants represent a large swath.
Should Trump pardon them for the other things?
I think child pornographers and child sex offenders should be put to death immediately. I don't believe that a pardon for something so heinous, so violent and disgusting is warranting of a pardon that's a reflection of the injustices that we endured.
I was actually at January 6th.
Yeah.
I was on Capitol Hill on January 6th. So I saw everything. So I get really upset when people are like, oh, it was peaceful and nonviolent and everything.
So you would say what would you say? It was violent? It was a violent day?
I watched it. I was there.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
I saw doors get ripped off. When people were like, oh, it was peaceful and it was all Antifa.
No, it certainly wasn't all Antifa. It definitely wasn't. I mean,
you've all gotten your pardons. You can be honest now.
Yeah, no, I've got no incentive to do anything other than to tell the truth. And the truth is, the protest was overwhelmingly peaceful until, whether we want to call them the FBI assets, the confidential
there's no proof of the FBI being there.
No. So an FBI confidential human source is paid by the FBI to be there. Not all 16, but at least 3 of them were. And that's enough. My statement regarding that, we can talk about that all day. Overwhelmingly, it was a peaceful event. There was a protest that got out of hand, and the protest got out of hand because what I witnessed was the Metro PD and the Capitol Police using wanton aggression against overwhelmingly nonviolent protesters like myself.
So I was there. I can see
they could have kept it calm.
It wasn't
Pelosi
calm.
would have done her job and secured the Capitol. Is that her?
Nancy Pelosi is not in charge of the Capitol. Donald Trump is in charge of Capitol Hill.
Did he or did he not request additional federal troops?
Hours later.
No, well, actually,
the
night before, I got a notification from CNN that said D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said no additional federal troops are needed.
Yeah, all of that's been debunked.
It's all been debunked.
It's all been debunked. It wasn't Nancy Pelosi. It's not Capitol Hill's not the Vatican. Donald Trump can send in troops whenever he wants.
That's not wrong.
How you doing? Tell me how you can exist as a MAGA Republican and a member of the LGBTQ community.
Well, here at Log Cabin Republicans, we believe in common sense. We're common sense conservative, just like anyone else can be a conservative. We believe in individual freedoms and rights for all, and we want the government out of our business. That's why we support President Trump. We know he supports us.
But the problem is that Trump has very much been the Republican Party. They have done more to take away individual rights and freedoms from LGBTQ than anyone.
I would disagree with that.
How so?
Trump has been the first president when he took office in 2017 to support same-sex marriage on day one. Not President Clinton, not Barack Obama, President Trump. I'll also mention that he has hosted same-sex weddings at Mar-a-Lago. He's very much in support of the LGB and the T.
Why queer erasure? I don't get it.
I mean, we believe that the LGBT is inclusive.
Why not Q, QIA?
We don't use that label. We
Why?
refer to ourselves as gay or bisexual or lesbian.
I mean, because usually when people are doing the erasure, it's usually bi erasure or trans erasure. So I just thought it was funny because queer erasure, I don't see that.
I mean, people who identify as queer usually are gay or bisexual. The bisexual umbrella covers that sort of sexual orientation spectrum.
Can I come around? I just think it's funny here. There's a lot of T erasure and bi erasure, but to do queer erasure, I think is just funny. But I'm glad you're not doing bi erasure because there's a lot of that. The information is out there. There's entire lists of everything he did to negatively impact the LGBTQ community while in office, while he came to office again this time. So I mean, it's been extensive. It's not. There's no real nuance to it. He might have people around him that are members of that community, but by and large, isn't everyone here is against this?
No, I would disagree with that assertion.
I mean, they call gay people groomers, like calling gay people.
Here.
I don't like language that makes your identity seem like a virus.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, they started the groomer. Everyone here started the whole groomer thing, and that makes this community sound like a virus, and which is the most dangerous thing I could think of in terms of rhetoric. I see you as a human being. You were born this way. You came to this just naturally, but you came to your identity naturally. To say that it was a virus that was instituted by our education system and our gender ideology, I think is incredibly dangerous rhetoric towards the LGBTQ community.
Well, I think what you're referring to is Gays Against Groomers. That is not our organization. They're a separate.
That is a MAGA. Yeah, but all of them are MAGA, and that is under the umbrella of MAGA.
I mean, yeah, they would call themselves MAGA.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to Trump for a second, he supports same-sex marriage. That's not under threat. And he supports people like Caitlyn Jenner to use the bathroom of their choice in his properties.
The actions of his entire administration, revoking Title IX, Title X, and rolling back all of the rights gained by Title IX and Title X, say the exact opposite. So I'm always confused as to why you're here when these people don't like you. If you were a teacher, if you were a school teacher, they would feel threatened by that. You would not get to talk about your same-sex partner.
They would treat me the same as everyone else.
Everyone here regards the LGBTQ identity as more sexual, and their entire thing has been.
My whole identity isn't me being gay. I'm not parading that around. That's just a part of me.
Yes, and you should be able to. You should not be persecuted for your identity. The only persecution for your identity that I have seen has been from this room, and that is. So that's why it's baffling to me.
I disagree. We've gotten love and acceptance for years having a booth here. So I don't know where you're seeing that, but I haven't been seeing that.
Have you asked people about how they feel about the gay community, gay people teaching their children, gay people being their son's football coach, gay people working in the library of their school, books on gay identity, queer identity, pronouns? We could run the gamut, and these people would be incredibly incensed by all of that. I don't want to go around and ask people if they hate you, because I don't want to do that too, but that's it makes no sense to me. Just for the record, I don't care who you voted for. If you were being persecuted, I would be out in the streets to advocate for your rights and based on your identity, personally. I would.
You have the right to do that.
But I'm saying, like, so I'm not going to not advocate for your rights in that regard. I want to, but so that's the part that is just confusing to me, that like the conservative movement has historically been against progress for LGBTQ. If you're like a multimillionaire and this was like a financial decision, I would totally get it. Like Peter Thiel, it's a financial decision.
Yeah, Peter Thiel's gay and he's a successful businessman. What I'll say is if you do go around this room and ask people what they really think, they're going to say that they don't care because it doesn't really impact them. What they will say, though, is that they don't want radical gender theory, critical race theory, none of that entering their children's classrooms because it doesn't pertain to civics education, what their children should be learning.
They've done an amazing job in the culture war. It's actually brilliant. Those are very general terms that they can weaponize when they see fit. What is gender ideology? What is critical race theory? What is woke? And then when they see something that is slightly, in representation of the gay community, they can be like, oh, that thing. And they're against social emotional learning. They've used those terms and weaponized it against social emotional learning, the teaching of empathy. Like when a guidance counselor will teach kids, oh, Emily has 2 moms, how can we show empathy for her? Moms for Liberty is like wholesale against that.
Well, I can't speak to what Moms for Liberty stands for.
Yeah, but this is Moms for Liberty, this is the same tent that you're under.
Yeah, we all support President Trump.
Where are you guys going? He thinks they're about to get kicked out. Oh, they're about to get kicked out? Okay. That's what he thinks. Who's next? Who's next? What? Yeah. Yeah, sure. DEI. I was gonna get a DEI. I was gonna go after that. Is there a problem, sir?
Can I see your credentials real quick?
These are real.
Can you take it off for me?
These are real credentials. I came here.
Is this your person over here?
What? I'm not with them. Excuse me. I'm not with them. I'm not with this person.
Can I see your credentials too, please? From my understanding, CPAC has asked you guys to leave, so we're going to need to walk out. Do you have your IDs with you?
Why is CPAC asking me to leave? I'm here legally. I came here legally.
Okay.
Are we given a reason for being asked?
No, but I can give you an email address that you can email and ask them all those questions.
Yeah, I thought we like freedom of speech, freedom of press, First Amendment.
I applied for a press pass just like everyone else. And now I'm having my press credentials stripped. Yeah, this is the Republican Party. This is the free speech First Amendment Party.
Good.
I'm being kicked out, so I've really just asked people a few hard questions, and then now I'm being tossed. Oh well, pretty funny actually.
Are you going back into the hotel, or are you guys just going to leave?
I'm not saying.
I'm gonna stay outside and get some interviews.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna go right to where the boundary is, and I'm gonna get interviews and stuff, and get content.
Do you have are you driving a vehicle here?
No.
You drove a vehicle here?
No.
All right, so if you didn't drive, you can actually leave out this exit right here.
Why are we being kicked out?
That's a good question.
I'm sure you don't know.
So
Do you know why we're being kicked out? I don't. We need to keep walking though. Are you guys going? You want to go out through the lobby?
Same to me. We go that way. Let's go that way. No, let's go out that way. Oh no, I have to leave. This is. No, I want to exit that way. I don't want to go out that way. I can't exit out that way.
Because now I'm about to get real frustrated and irritated. All right? You can leave out this way. Okay?
Oh man, why are you getting kicked out?
The free speech convention's kicking me out. You know.
No. What do you think about Matt Schlapp?
What?
What do you think about Matt Schlapp?
Matt Schlapp?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who sexually harassed and sexually assaults people? That guy. Yeah. Hilarious.
What are you doing here? Why'd you come here? Why'd you come here?
What? It's content, comedy. Did I get what I wanted? That's a great question. I came here to make comedy, and I didn't make the comedy that I wanted to make. I didn't make as much comedy as I wanted to make. But thank you for your concern.
We are concerned, and we like free speech here. So
Yeah.
who does? But I
Free
think it should be
speech
allowed.
so much.
Yeah. So if you like free speech, tell the people that run CPAC and the Maga movement. Yeah.
They said I could just get it later. I'm like, it is 30, it's 20 degrees outside.
Yeah, literally.
Are they getting it for you?
We'll be heading home soon. We got kicked out of CPAC. Yeah, for nothing. I mean, we were literally interviewing people not being belligerent, being friendly. And then I saw Secret Service agents one by one surrounding us. I told Walter, I said, something happened. You sure something happened? And then they came up and said, yeah, you gotta leave. You're being kicked out. What, for what? You gotta go. And then like fucking 4 cops and 5 Secret Service agents kicked me and Walter and the camera guy. When we first went there was 6 MAGA hatters. They were kind of lieutenants, like they recognized us. And then I saw them go up and tell one of the event staff something. I was like, I don't think they're talking about us. And as he was coming back by, I was like, hey man, do you want to do an interview? And then he was like, no, that's sketchy. So then when we got inside and I was interviewing the men's equality guy, I saw the one lady come up and she kept looking at me, punching in her phone. Then I saw another guy with the earpiece come up and I was just off the corner, I saw another, and they kept coming. I was like, oh yeah, something's going down. So they just kicked us out. It's free speech, of course.
They tossed Enrique Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys.
J6ers.
They tossed J6.
I got it on film, by the way. I got it on film. I'll be posting that. I was interviewing the guy who put his feet up on Pelosi's desk at J6. I mean, I shouldn't even say interviewing. I was literally about to interview. And then the Secret Service came up and told him, like, oh, you're getting kicked out. So I was like, oh, you're getting kicked out. And I was watching it. And then the guy turned to me and goes, so are you? And what the fuck? Me? I'm not a J6er. I'm not a Proud Boy. I'm independent me. I got a media pass.
None of this makes sense.
None of it makes sense.
I was gonna wait till tomorrow to get really aggressive.
Right. To be honest, we were gonna like, do some satire and fucking troll people a little bit tomorrow. But today we were being good.
I got tossed too. Wait, why'd they toss you?
In indignity to the American people.
No, wait, why'd they toss y'all?
We have no idea. They will not allow Jake Lang at CPAC.
Well, wait, are these J6 people?
Jake Lang is one of the biggest J6ers out there, and they will not allow him back in CPAC right now. He has a booth in there. He paid for 20 tickets for J6ers. They took his money, and they won't allow him in CPAC.
Yeah, we got booted too.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I can understand why they tossed me. You guys should definitely be in there.
Let's rock and roll. You guys who don't want to freeze, stay, relax, enjoy, take all the contacts you can.
Wait, do you guys know why Enrique got kicked out? Why did he get kicked out?
Communism.
Communism.
Yeah.
This gentleman was assaulted.
Wait.
This gentleman was assaulted by one of the officers.
Wait, why did they assault you? Why did they assault you?
Who are you guys with? I'm sorry.
I just got kicked out. I'm a comedian from New York.
Okay, yeah, my name's Isaac. All I did was as Jake was being escorted out, I said, "This is communism," and then the officer looked at me and said, "Do you want to say that again?" And get kicked out too? And I said, yeah, I said, this is communism. There's nothing wrong with that. And he said, hand me your badge. So I said, no, I paid for this. He said, that's a property of CPAC, and started grabbing on me. And then I said, okay, I'd like to leave, sir. I'd like to leave. I went to leave out the other door. They blocked the doors from me, grabbed the lanyard by my neck and ripped it off my neck.
Wait, say it louder. Louder. You got kicked out better than us.
I did. They treated me really nice. My security guard's name is Bartholomew. I named him that. It was fitting, and he liked it. And they walked me like all the way over to the lobby. Like they helped me get my coat, and I was like, "Can I take a minute and get my coat on and get situated?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Go ahead."
See,
so,
they made us use the bad exit. I was like, I want to use the good exit where I can just walk into an Uber.
It's good to know CPAC still treats ladies with respect.
Don't say that.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out. Yeah.
I mean, they dragged me out back. They beat me.
Oh yeah, there we go.
They married me off to a Proud Boy.
Think about it. They're going against what President Trump pardoned these guys.
Yeah.
Right. So why do you think that we kick them out?
Because they're establishment conservatives and don't actually care about our country. They care about their money, their power, and their fame.
You're so close, man. I gotta give it to you. You were very close. Thank you for that. Why'd you get kicked out?
Well, we didn't get kicked out. What ended up happening is I didn't get let in, which is two different things. But we got called in because they're gonna give me my ticket now.
There's a bunch of people from J6 that just got tossed. They just got tossed, and they had a whole booth, and they were like famously tossed.
What just happened? They were just telling me.
What did
This
he do?
time with 5 police officers.
What did
They said because he caused a disruption yesterday, that they don't want to repeat. Mind you, we were here all day. Like, we were here for hours yesterday. We were folding T-shirts. There was no disruption until
that happened.
Until they came over.
I saw part of the video.
And were literally pushing and shoving him and Rachel.
We all got thrown out at the same. I understand why they throw me out. I don't understand why they threw you guys out. It doesn't make any
Why
sense.
they throw you out?
I'm not MAGA, so I can understand them not wanting me, but I don't understand why I saw a video of you getting tossed. You're with the J6 booth?
I'm a J6er, yes.
Do you know why they got booted out?
It's a controversy between the J6 community, and we're divided a little bit.
What's the division
Some
about?
People don't want us here. That's all I'm going to say.
I can understand, Nick Fuentes getting thrown out because he says the quiet.
I think at this point,
He
Nick
says-
loves getting thrown out.
Well, he says the quiet part a little too loud. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, we're not supposed to say that out loud, and so he gets like famously tossed.
I've never seen the guy with a woman before, so.
You know what? That is a fantastic point.
The log cabin Republicans are here.
He should. I mean,
He should just come out.
I'm gonna get smoked for smoking this guy, but I don't care. You should join the Log Cabin Republicans.
One question: do
Go
you
ahead.
think a man with the last name Nick Fuentes is qualified to be a white supremacist? You know what I mean?
Look,
Like,
I
if you're-
kind of,
if
you know
you're
what? I
Latino-
kind of agree on the left with this. Ideology is ideology when we're talking about like white supremacist ideology, race superiority. It's not your skin color. You could have like those ideologies and be any color, right?
So the white
I don't share.
supremacist movement is inclusive.
I kind of want to gatekeep white supremacy. That's kind of my thing.
Well, you guys is too much.
Yeah.
You
No, I'm
guys.
saying, can it be? Is it DEI then?
I'm guessing there could be some DEI with it.
It's DE. Oh, it is
All right,
DEI.
I gotta go meet with the guys.
Oh my
Thank
god. Oh, I got enough content. This is great. I got enough content. That was great. So, Jolly, you want to go shoot some guns tomorrow? I want to shoot some guns tomorrow.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go shoot some. We're gonna
Take
go.
Walter to shoot an AR-15, an AR pistol, maybe a.
Wait, AR makes a pistol. Okay. We're training for the revolution today.
Yes.
Hey, what's in there, man?
AR-15 and a couple 9mm.
Look, this happened because they kicked us out of CPAC.
Don't say they don't care. I don't know who these people. My hands up crazy now. And load, right? Protect this finger, push down a little bit, and load, all right? So I'm gonna do what is that?
What, we got 3?
Got 3's already in there. You go.
Me. Also me.
Medium, if the way it's loaded.
Second time. Third time.